welcome back. You're listening to Houston Real Estate Radio, and every week we bring you lots of real estate information you can use, hopefully when you have a real estate transaction, but there are a lot of things that we talk about that don't necessarily pertain to the real estate transaction, but have to do with real estate and the politics around real estate. Lots of great information for you. If you've got a call-in question, just give us a call, 844-788-9444. We like to answer your questions right here on the air every Sunday between 11 and noon. That number again, 844-788-9444. And if you miss any of the show, you know you can catch us online at HoustonRealEstateRadio.com. So this segment, I've got Judge Deborah Ibarra Mayfield coming in the studio today. And this is a long haul for you because you're downtown in the courthouse all the time. So this is a little bit of a break for you coming to the suburbs.
I am, Shannon, but thanks very much for having me. I was really looking forward to visiting with you and your listeners today. So it's a little bit of a drive, but I appreciate it. And campaigning across Harris County, I'm sort of used to driving and visiting different parts of the county. So it's a pleasure to be here.
So you're up for re-election. Tell us what you're up for re-election for.
I am. Well, I've actually served you in the judiciary for over 5 years, but I was fortunate enough and blessed enough that last year Governor Greg Abbott promoted me to the 165th Civil District Court. It's one of our 24 civil district courts here in Harris County, and I'm up for re-election in November to that court.
So what kind of cases do you hear over there?
Well, we hear all types of civil cases, unlimited in jurisdictional amounts, so meaning everywhere from $500 up through several million sometimes. So we hear all the big cases, some of the cases that you may read about in the newspaper, for example.
All right, very exciting. And we're going to talk about some exciting things today. On May 5th of 2015, Judge Deborah Mayfield was appointed by Governor Abbott to the 165th Civil District Court, and she was confirmed by the Texas Senate by unanimous vote. And then previously, she served as the judge of Harris County Civil Court at Law Number 1, and she was unanimously appointed then by the Bipartisan Commissioners Court back in 2011, and she was the first Latina County Court at Law judge in Harris County. And then in 2012 and 2014, she was elected by the citizens of Harris County to continue her service as judge. And in 2015, she served as administrative judge of the county civil courts. And I know you've won lots of great awards. So we're excited for you. I know you've done great things since you've been in office, and hope you'll continue to be able to do great things for the citizens of Harris County.
Well, I appreciate that, Shannon. I see part of my duty as one of your judges is to serve the community. So I make it a point, in addition to my judicial responsibilities, to go out and serve the community. And in particular, I like serving and enjoy serving in mentor roles. Mm-hmm. I mentor a lot of young women through some of the women's groups in town and serve on boards of a few of those groups. And for all of those reasons, I was really honored most recently when the Houston Young Lawyers Association recognized me with their Outstanding Mentor Award. So again, it's just a pleasure, in addition to my judicial duties, to be able to go out in the community and serve.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate all that you do, and I'll follow you on Facebook and see all the great things that you're doing. So we appreciate that. Let's talk a little bit about eminent domain, because I know you hear eminent domain cases in your courtroom. Let's talk a little bit about that, because one of the hot topics right now that I'm hearing about is with the bullet train that is looking at coming between Dallas and Houston.
Very hot topic.
There are some people who are going to have, there's going to be some eminent domain going on in that territory.
Most definitely. Definitely.
Some of those are probably going to come by your desk, huh?
They absolutely might do that, yes.
So let's talk a little bit about that process and how it works. One of the things that I have heard from people is, if this bullet train really is being held by a private company, how can they come in and and use eminent domain to take land? So I'm going to let you explain that.
Sure. Well, the eminent domain process is a very unique process. It's really unlike any other kind of lawsuit that another court may hear. It's very unique. So there's a bit of history to how this all evolved and how the civil district courts here in Harris County now hear them. As you mentioned, Shannon, I used to sit as a county civil court at law judge, and for many, many years, the 4 county civil courts at law in Harris County had exclusive jurisdiction over eminent domain lawsuits. That means there were the only 4 courts in all of Harris County that heard them, up until last year. Last year, the legislature changed that. And so now if your case is $200,000 and above, meaning the private property or the land may be valued at $200,000 or above, those cases may also be filed in the Harris County Civil District Courts. So that is why I may now see those bullet train cases if they, once they start happening. So again, it's a very unique process. And your question is, how can a private entity or a quasi-private entity take private land for public use? Well, that's what might happen if those quasi or private entities receive government funding. So our Texas Constitution gives certainly governmental entities, but some quasi-governmental entities, quasi meaning they receive government funds to develop or to expand. And if they take private property in the process of doing that, then they have eminent domain power. So when I talk to students at all these area schools where I try to visit pretty frequently, including my old high school, MacArthur High School, I like to ask the kids this question. How many of you think the state of Texas can expand the freeway and come through your driveway at your house? And I always get these looks in response. And some may very timidly raise their hand and say, well, I think so. And I always say, well, the answer is yes, they can do that. You just have to be fairly and justly compensated for that taking. So if a governmental or quasi-governmental entity, that means they receive government funds, such as we're talking about the bullet train, if they develop and expand to take any part of your private land for public use, they can do that. You just have to be compensated for it, and there's a process in which that will happen.
So let's talk a little bit about that, the process for, let's say, for example, you're a landowner and you've been offered money for them to use eminent domain, and you're not happy with that amount that they've offered you. What process do you take? What are your options? What can you do?
Well, that's what will happen, and due process here gives us the opportunity to address if you're not happy with what they've offered for the taking of your private land. So here's the way it works. The condemning authority, so for example, and the one that I gave, the state of Texas building a highway through your private land, the state of Texas would be the condemning authority. So the state of Texas must file a petition in condemnation. And if the piece of property that they have taken for public use is valued at $200,000 and above, they have the option of where to file that case, either the county civil courts at law or the Harris County Civil District Courts. So it will land in one of those courts. My court, for example, it could land in my court. And so once that case comes across my desk, I have very limited power or authority to do anything. Again, very unique process. So the first thing that I will do is I must appoint a panel of three special commissioners. And what that means is just 3 citizens of Harris County. So the only qualification for sitting as a special commissioner is you be a disinterested landowner in Harris County, meaning you're not associated with the case in any way and you own land in Harris County. So the judge will appoint a panel of 3 special commissioners, and those special commissioners will sit over the case and sort of an informal process, hear the evidence, meaning they hear from both sides, the condemning authority and the landowner, as to what the piece of property is worth, and they actually make an award as to what, according to the evidence, they believe the property is worth. And if either side doesn't like that award, is unhappy with it, they file an objection to the award, and that's when it comes back to the court and it proceeds as a regular lawsuit at that point.
And it could be with a jury or without a jury,
That's
depending
right.
on how they file it.
That's right. As with any other case, you can pay and make a jury demand timely, pay a nominal fee along with that jury demand, and that's all you need to do to get a trial in front of a jury, either 6 jurors in county civil court or 12 jurors in the district court. So that's all you need to do to get a jury trial. So you can elect in an eminent domain case, as with any other case, to have your case heard by the court, by the judge, or by the jury. Usually when these pieces of property are sometimes so valuable and worth so in most cases, or in some cases, several $1 million,
Right.
you probably want a jury to hear that case.
Yeah. All right. Well, very good. Lots of great information on eminent domain. If you're affected by it, you may find yourself in Judge Ibarra Mayfield's courtroom. All right. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsor here on Houston Real Estate Radio. If you've got any questions, you can call us at 844-788-9444. We'll be right back here on Houston Real Estate Radio.
Imagine you and your family return from a tropical vacation to find that one of your pipes burst, flooding your entire house. Are you fully covered? Will you only receive $100 for your TV that cost you $2,000 just 2 years ago? Will your insurance company pay for you to live in a hotel while your home is being repaired? What if on that same trip you lose your wedding ring? Will your home insurance coverage replace that as well? All insurance policies are not created equal. If you don't know the answer to these questions, you're not alone. Most people don't understand the gaps in their coverage until it's too late. Call Goosehead Insurance today and let one of our agents review your current policy to ensure that you are fully covered. At Goosehead Insurance, we understand the power of choice. Instead of working for a single insurance company, our agents have access to over 20 A-rated carriers. This allows us to craft a policy to fit your particular lifestyle, budget, and needs. It also enables us to reshop your policy in the future, if necessary, saving you time and money. No need to look for another agent. At Goosehead, we've got you covered. Our agents will walk you through each policy decision so that you have the coverage you need. If that's not reason enough, talk to one of our happy clients. Our client satisfaction scores are 3 times the industry average. To experience the Goosehead Insurance difference, visit us online at goosehead.com or call us at 800-474-1377.